There's something magical about a classic vintage cookie recipe. Each generation gives it their own unique take. They're still buttery on the inside, crispy on the outside, and hiding a wonderful surprise in the middle. Hi, welcome to the kitchen. Today we are going to make 3 different variations of the classic traditional thumbprint cookie. By the time this video is over, you'll have some new flavor combinations and some tips and tricks to help you make them turn out awesome. So if that sounds like some yummy fun to you, let's get baking. If you want to do the classic version, you want to have some chopped walnuts, and these are store-bought chopped walnuts, and I think they're a little bit on the still too coarse side. So I'll show you my favorite hack. Just put some walnuts in a Ziploc baggie and bring out that rolling pin. Give it a quick smash and roll, and you'll be all set to go for the classic version. The second version I'm making will have almonds on the outside, and you want to use sliced almonds, not these slivered ones, because they'll be a little too crunchy. And even with the sliced ones, you want to chop them up just a little bit more so that you have smaller sized pieces to grab the edges of our cookies. And the third variation we're going to do is an ode to my Romanian grandmother's roots, and we're going to do poppy seed with cherry jam. So we got a nut-free version too. And if you're wondering about all the measurements and how much and all that stuff, I will have all of that in the description at the end of this video for you. So let's begin. In a large mixing bowl, you want to have 3/4 of a cup of softened butter. And as you can see, mine is over softened, and that's what happens when you're busy looking at the recipe and not watching the microwave. And it's going to be just fine. So 3/4 of a cup of softened butter. And to that, we're going to add 1/2 cup of firmly packed brown sugar and mix that in. This recipe calls for your eggs to be separated, so you want to separate 2 eggs, and we want to put just the yolks into the batter and keep our whites on the side, and we'll use the white part for rolling the cookies in before we put them in the nuts. Before you put your egg whites aside, just give them a quick whisking with a fork so that they're all broken up and ready for dipping our cookies in. And now is also a good time to preheat our oven to 350. Okay, back to the main event. You want to mix those egg yolks in, and then we'll add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we want to add 1.5 cups of flour. And mix that in until it's all combined nicely. Normally you would add your flavoring extract before you add the flour, but I didn't today because we're splitting this into 2 batches. So I'm going to split the dough into 2 different portions here because one batch is getting vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon in this case, but for the recipe you'd use a full teaspoon. I'll have all that in the description for you. And the other one is going to have 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. It takes a little more to get it blended in there at this stage, but I'm a mad scientist at heart, so it's worth the experiment. Because of course we know that the originals with raspberry jam and vanilla and walnuts are delicious, but if you don't have a nut allergy, you need to try the almond one with apricot and almonds because it is so good. Next, we want to get our workstations ready to go, so you want your nuts in a bowl or a plate, and your egg white ready to go, and your dough, and a lightly greased cookie sheet. Then take a spoonful of dough at a time and roll it into 1-inch balls. Drop it in your egg white mixture and stir to coat. And then put them in the nuts and toss them around to coat. Place it on your cookie sheet. And then using a floured end of a wooden spoon, you want to press it in the center. And a simple tip to stop them from cracking is to actually press them down almost completely there before you put your indent in. And then when you put your indent, hold the sides and just kind of pivot your spoon a little bit to widen the crack, and easy to remove the spoon then. Couple quick tips while we're rolling out the rest of the cookies. If your dough gets a little too dry, you can add a touch of milk, and if it gets too soft to roll, you can refrigerate it for about 15 minutes. So our first batch is going in, and we'll leave these ones to fully cook for 15 to 17 minutes till they're golden brown. All right, our first pan full is done. And it looks like the ones that had the jam baked in turned out lovely. The other ones we're going to add the jam to now. You want to re-press the indentation just gently. Give it a little more room for extra jam. And you can do this while they're still warm and in the pan if you like. Add your jam to the center. So the almond ones are getting the apricot jam. Our poppy seed ones are getting the black cherry jelly. And our traditional ones with the vanilla and the walnut are getting the raspberry jam. And for this second batch, I baked these for 10 minutes, a little bit more than halfway. And we're going to re-indent the centers and fill them with jam. So they're going to go back in the oven for another 5 minutes till they're golden brown. Okay, our cookies are done. And I still prefer the ones with the jam at the finish because it's just a little more fruit forward. But if I was doing these for a cookie exchange or a cookie tin, then I would definitely do the ones where you cook the jam for the full time because it's just a little drier and then the jam doesn't stick to all the other cookies. I think they're all really delicious, but my new favorite is the poppy seeds because they kind of have a fun crunch and they make me feel fancy like I'm having a caviar cookie. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me in the kitchen today. I hope you try this recipe and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.